I know that I want to do something. Just listening to the testimony, I hadn't thought of this previously, but the day after Parkland happened, I happened to go to my my 9-year-old's elementary school. She'd forgotten something, or I had to drop something off, and I remember buzzing through the doors and just having this terrible set of thoughts about that happening in her school. If that weren't enough to compel me to try to do something, I'll tell you that where I live, there is a widely held sentiment. I know it's the majority. I think it's the vast majority of people want to see changes to our gun laws. I know this because I've been knocking on doors, I've been getting their emails, I've been getting their phone calls. I'm very grateful that this committee and the chairman decided to have this hearing. I was with an organization in Phoenixville Borough, which is in my district, called the Social Concerns Committee, which for the last 30 or 40 years has spent time thinking about societal and social problems in the borough of Phoenixville, which is a small, essentially urban area in my district. And they called me in to talk to me about gun violence. And when I told them that this committee was having these hearings, they were impressed. I was able, when they said, "What are you doing about it?" I said, "Well, the Judiciary Committee is actually having open hearings on various bills and issues related to this next week." I also had Moms Demand Action in my office in Paoli last week, an organization which is statewide, but there are a number of very active individuals in my district who've come to see me on this, and I was able to say that this committee was having an open discussion on these subjects, and I'm so grateful that I can tell my constituents that we are serious about looking at these matters. 2216, my bill, is a ban on high capacity, anything over 10 projectiles, bullets, and a ban on conversion devices. Some talk was about bump stocks. I believe a conversion device is the definition of a bump stock falls within that. As a lawyer, I certainly want to follow the Second Amendment, but I don't think our courts have said that firearms cannot be regulated. I believe these regulations are constitutional and will be upheld. In fact, I think a court in Massachusetts, very recently, a federal court, upheld some similar provisions in the laws of that state. So I think that's the case. Mass shootings have involved these very large capacity magazines, and we talked a little bit about the mass killing in Nevada, and we know about that one conversion device. If these limitations save a life, then they were worth doing, and even if they don't, I introduced this bill because I want to try. I want to try to do something that might have a positive impact on this problem that seems to not be going away, and dare I say, seems to be growing. Totally grateful for any input on how this bill might be improved. I haven't heard any testimony from here regarding bills, just to weigh in, Mr. Chairman, that are before you that that I disagree with. They seem to be bills I would support. Representative Stevens has been kind enough to include me on the conversation of the red flag or the ERPO legislation, and I support that. So that's my testimony, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.